The Philippines, home to some of the most spectacular coral reefs on Earth, attracting billions of sea creatures in more variety than anywhere else on the planet. The land was once an underwater reef. Now it supports rare and specialized residents, each adapted to island life. Enormous sharks, Philippine eagles, and a deadly cobra that sprays venom.
Oh.
Scattered on and around 7,000 islands in the Pacific. The animals of the Philippines are truly a world apart. El Nido, the gateway to over 40 idyllic islands with limestone cliffs and sandy beaches. It's in the northeast of the island of Palawan. El Nido boasts beachfront resorts in pristine settings, and tourists who visit the area pay a fee to help keep it that way. The waters of the Philippines produce billions of dollars in income each year. Reef diving is a main attraction, and this treasure is closely guarded by the resorts. Resorts like Miniloc employ environmental officers to investigate signs of illegal fishing and to aid in conservation. They survey the animals too, from blue blubber jellyfish through hundreds of species of mollusks and sponges. The wealth of species here makes Miniloc the most popular scuba location in El Nido. These reefs have been damaged by illegal fishing with dynamite. But coral is resilient, and with protections in place, they're making a comeback. The reef is home to feather stars, relatives of sea urchins and sea stars. These animals are on the menu for the hawksbill turtle. To glimpse a hawksbill is a rare treat. In the last 100 years, their population has dropped by 80%, decimated for their beautiful shells. Now, they're protected, which is good news for the turtles and the reefs. Hawksbills eat sponges, which helps the corals survive. Unchecked, the sponges can reproduce quickly and overtake a reef, smothering the coral. Now that the turtle population is healthier, environmental officers can follow the fortunes of the individuals living here. Not that long ago, many of the hawksbills nesting in the Philippines would have ended up as souvenirs or someone's dinner. Today, their future is brighter. For some turtles, new life starts on the beaches near Miniloc. Every nesting season, females haul up here to lay their eggs. When the babies have hatched, there can be around 160 of them. They need a helping hand. While they were still in the egg, this enclosure shielded them from predators like monitor lizards. But now, the babies want out. Jamie and DeCarvies and the Miniloc environmental team smooth a route to the sea. Footprints in the sand can be obstacles for baby turtles. Flattening them out and keeping a human presence to deter predators can be critical for their survival.
We're finished.
Great, we can let them go now.
But it's vital the babies make their own way and aren't carried to the sea. Some scientists believe that scrambling over the sand helps the hatchlings imprint on their nesting beach, so they know where to return to mate and lay eggs. With efforts like this, it's hoped the critically endangered hawksbill is on the road to recovery. The baby turtles will spend a few years in the open sea. Then, when they're nearly 40 centimeters long, they'll find a reef to call home. Many hawksbills end up off the coast of Palawan in a World Heritage Site called Tubataha Reefs Natural Park. This marine park covers more than 97,000 hectares of reef and water, similar in size to the city of Berlin, and it's a holy grail for divers. This group, based on the Palau sport, will do as many as 4 dives a day, guided by dive masters and owners, David and Eileen Choi. David has been leading dive expeditions for over 30 years. He and Eileen are experienced divers here, so they know what to expect. But first-timers are stunned by the sheer abundance and diversity of life. There are more than 360 species of coral and 600 kinds of fish here. Eileen loves gliding along the reef edge with clouds of pyramid butterfly fish. There are larger predators as well. White-tip and gray reef sharks are abundant. Big ones can be over 1.5 meters long. But the sharks are easygoing and will avoid confrontation with divers. White-tips lounge around by day and do their hunting at night. Tubataha is famous for enormous shoals of fish. There can be hundreds of a fish known as big-eyed trevally in a single shoal. At dusk, the shoal will disperse and individuals will hunt alone. They take mainly bony fish and crustaceans. Other fish have a more vegetarian diet. Yellowfin surgeonfish pick off algae and organic matter from the sandy bottom. Surgeonfish are named for the spines as sharp as a surgeon's scalpel at the base of their tails. Before heading back to shore, the divers take a 3-minute safety stop to rid their bodies of nitrogen absorbed during their dive. It's also a nice excuse to spend a bit more time enjoying their otherworldly surroundings. There are 2 coral atolls in Tubataha Reefs Natural Park. From the ranger station on North Atoll, the rangers work tirelessly to stop illegal fishing and poaching of ocean giants. The divers hope to see some of those behemoths tomorrow. The day's first dive is on South Atoll. David and Eileen Choi lead the group past spectacular sea fans, a kind of soft coral, and a school of blackfin barracuda, some of the most capable predators here. But they're overshadowed by a giant, a whale shark, the largest fish in the world. Whale sharks can be over 12 meters long and have over 2,000 tiny teeth. Luckily for the divers, they don't use these teeth to eat. Instead, they mainly use their gills to filter plankton, shrimp, and small fish from the water. Individual whale sharks can be identified by the pattern of polka dots and stripes, which are as unique as our fingerprints. Scientists estimate a whale shark can live to be 100 years old and potentially cover up to 800,000 kilometers of ocean in a lifetime. The dive team heads north, to a dive site often visited by other ocean giants. If the giants are in the area, they'll arrive from the deep water, so the divers head to the edge of the reef. Reef manta rays come here to have dead skin and parasites picked off by cleaner fish at cleaning stations. Impressive wing-like pectoral fins can span 5.5 meters. Remora fish often attach to them, hitching a free ride. It could be a long trip. Mantas can travel 64 kilometers a day, stopping along cleaning stations and feeding grounds. Remote Tubataha is one of the country's few remaining reefs in pristine condition, and it's one of the most important tropical reef systems on the planet. Its designation as a World Heritage Site was an important step toward securing its future. East of Palawan is the island of Bohol. Here, a treasure is the land itself, the Chocolate Hills. Between 90 and 450 meters high, there are more than 1,700 of them. The result of uplifted coral deposits. They were sculpted by wind and rain. In the dry season, the grass that covers them turns chocolate brown, giving them their name. There's another Philippine icon on Bohol. This 8.5-hectare forest reserve was set aside for them. Carlito Pizarras has dedicated his life to the conservation of these small and elusive creatures. In honor of his work, their scientific name was changed to Carlito Siricta. Carlito helped to establish the Philippine Tarsier Research and Development Center. Now visitors come from all over the world to meet the animals he has fought to protect since he was a boy. Tarsiers are tiny primates about the height and weight of a cell phone. They have remarkably long padded fingers for grip when they climb. Backup grip is provided by an extra long tail. Tarsiers charm everyone that meets them.
They are so cute.
It's really amazing to see the tarsier in the forest. And it's like my hand, so small.
If human eyes were an equivalent size, they'd be as big as grapefruits.
I'm quite surprised how close you can get to them here. And then also, like, they're supposed to be quiet here. I'm not being very quiet. No, they're very sweet.
They are sensitive to noise and can swivel their heads nearly 180 degrees like an owl to investigate sounds.
I'm very happy that I brought them here and to see the real live ones because they just studied in the books.
I think we should really do our best to conserve these animals because they are a part of our Philippine culture.
The future of tarsiers, I think, is brighter now since more and more Filipinos are actually aware that we should be conserving this animal.
Tarsiers are the only primates that are exclusively carnivorous, hunting insects after dark. Although some insects are as irritating to them as they are to us. This is a bush cricket. A tarsia can move its ears independently to target the source of the sound. The meal is won with a quick bite to the head with razor-sharp teeth. But the tarsia hasn't had its fill yet. It can cover 3 meters in a single bound. Got it. Tarsiers will also catch frogs and small lizards. The more people that fall in love with them, the better. Tarsiers need supporters to help put a stop to illegal hunting for food, collection for the pet trade, and forest destruction. Bohol has other, more lethal predators, and they don't have the same fan following. Hidden in paddy fields, farms, and villages, they're deadly to humans and are often killed on sight. In the village of Tugas, a young Filipino couple have an unusual pastime. They volunteer to catch and relocate deadly snakes. Annalisa Oren and Jonik Kranico are on standby 24/7. Their children love all animals, including snakes, but the kids stay home when their parents hunt for venomous ones. There's a call from a village nearby. A cobra has been spotted. Annalisa and Jonik need to find it before the snake is killed or bites a resident in self-defense. Annalisa asks for up-to-date information on where the cobra was last seen.
Mayong buntag, te.
Oh, naalagay na to skuan. Lay, likod.
Oh, sige. Okay
Ah, sige.
It was spotted slithering in the garden behind the house. It could be anywhere now, so Annalisa and Jonik split up to cover more ground. It's dangerous work. All cobras are venomous, but some can spray the venom directly into your eyes, which is excruciatingly painful, but it's their bite that's life-threatening. Neurotoxic venom can spread throughout the body, paralyzing the heart and lungs. Without quick treatment, it can be fatal. The snake hunters try their luck in a grove of coconut palms backing onto the house. The golden scales of the Samar cobra. Glasses are a vital accessory. This is a cobra that can spit venom.
Oh. Wow.
They are known to spit up to almost 2 meters, and both Annalisa and Jonik are within range.
Oh.
But they're pros and deftly maneuver the cobra into the bag.
Okay.
Okay.
Ayos.
They'll transport the snake to a rural area with fewer people and plenty of rodents and frogs to feed on. Luckily for Jonik, the snake has calmed down during its trip in the bag. Samar cobras are only found in the southern Philippines. Growing to nearly 1.5 meters long, they're splendid serpents. With people like Jonik on their side, there will always be a place for the cobras here on Bohol. There are around 7,000 islands in the Philippine archipelago. From Bohol, it's just a 19-kilometer hop to the island of Cebu for a swimming experience unlike any other. Cebu is almost 200 kilometers long. Aslab, near its southern tip, was once a sleepy fishing village. Now, it's full of tourists. Many of them are here to encounter whale sharks. Every morning, up to 10 of these intelligent sharks are lured in with food. Shark tourism has helped shut down the whale shark fishery in some Philippine waters and has turned many fishermen into tour guides. The shark sucks in seawater and shrimp, then forces water back out through its gills after filtering out the food through porous pads that line its throat. It will ingest up to 22 kilograms per day, and for good reason. This gentle giant is close to 9 meters long and weighs around 8 tons. The whale sharks are free to roam the open ocean, but they love the shrimp handouts, so they keep this bay as part of their daily circuit. North of Aslab is the island of Malapascua. Here, divers encounter animals a fraction of the size of whale sharks, but their bite can be deadly. These waters hold one of the most famous dive sites in the country. People come here for close encounters of the venomous kind. No one lives on Gato Island, but it's seen many visitors. It's estimated that up to 30,000 sea snakes were once harvested here each year for food and skins. Now, this place is a protected marine sanctuary, and divers come to admire the snakes instead. These coral fields are packed with venomous creatures, but the first animal to emerge has none. A Spanish dancer. This 40-centimeter long sea slug flamenco dances when disturbed. Striped eel catfish are the only kind of catfish found on coral reefs, and these juveniles are just as venomous as the full-grown adults. Their spines are so toxic they could kill a human. But the most venomous creature in these waters is the banded sea crate. It probes into cracks and crevices to corner any fish resting inside. Eels are a favorite prey. They are highly venomous, but sea kraits are docile and never attack divers unprovoked. While it looks at home underwater, sea kraits actually breathe air, but a sea krait can hold its breath to hunt, swimming to depths of up to 60 meters and staying submerged for long periods of time. The kraits live around Gato Island because it has caves and fresh water. The snakes come ashore to drink, shed their skins, and to lay their eggs. Back on Malapascua, the resorts are full of excited divers waiting for dawn. This is the only known place in the world where pelagic thresher sharks turn up nearly every day. But you have to be up early. At sunrise, boats gather over Manid Shoal, a submerged mountain that rises up from the sea floor. Nearly 30 meters below the surface, its peak is visited by pelagic thresher sharks. Divers prepare to swim down to the edge of the abyss. They're counting on the sharks to arrive promptly. This is a deep dive, and they won't have much time before their air runs out. The sharks come here to visit a cleaning station. A spot at the edge of the seamount where little fish called cleaning wrasse spend their time eating dead skin and parasites off of larger fish. One of the first customers is a batfish. But the divers are waiting for a much bigger fish. Its enormous scythe-like tail is unmistakable. A thresher shark. The tail is used as a weapon. The sharks whip it over their heads to stun prey. At over 3 meters long, this is one intimidating animal. Their menacing look is deceiving. Threshers aren't aggressive and never attack humans. Threshers are only regular here in the early morning. After 8 a.m., they usually head off into deeper water. This is the best place in the world to see them. From Malapascua in Cebu, we journey south to the foot of the archipelago to visit the second largest island in the Philippines, Mindanao. In the north of Mindanao, in the province of Misamis Oriental, there's the town of Jasin. It's home to a Filipino couple who have an extraordinary relationship with an unlikely reptile. Here in the town of Jasin, Alma Dial and her husband Rodolfo's house backs onto a river estuary, a playground for the local children who share the river with Philippine sailfin lizards. Up to 1 meter long, these reptiles are only found in the Philippines. The couple prepares breakfast for the sailfins. Every morning, up to 100 converge on their house. The reptiles are wary at first, but hunger soon gets the better of them. And they gobble up the greens and fruit the Dials serve them. The sailfins will also eat insects and crabs. Female sailfins are impressive with their sky blue scales and a low crest. But adult males live here too, and their scales are even more spectacular. A crest of long tooth-like scales runs from the nape of the neck down their back. On their tails is a remarkable sail of skin up to 8 centimeters high. They show off the sail and nod their heads when they display. All that head bobbing is in vain. The female gives the male the cold shoulder, and then to add insult to injury, a rival taunts him with his sail. Alma and Rodolfo have fed and protected the sailfins for 15 years. They never get tired of watching them, and it's no wonder. They perform amazing feats. They high dive and swim like athletes. The sail on their tail helps propel them through the water. But if they're really under pressure, they can do something that's truly extraordinary. Large flattened toes to spread out their weight help them perform this miracle. And it's not only baby sailfins that can do this. Further south, there's a record-breaking colony of creatures found near Davao City, one of the largest cities in the Philippines. It's a bustling metropolis with a population of over 1.5 million residents. To escape the hustle and bustle, many people head to Sasa Barge Wharf on the weekend. From there, it's a 15-minute ferry ride to Samal Island. Samal isn't just about beaches and snorkeling. It also has a colony of animals in the Guinness Book of World Records. One particular mammal outnumbers the people who live on Samal Island by 18 to 1. Their awe-inspiring aggregation is 30 minutes from the port in a cave owned since the 1900s by the Inigo Montfort family. They're guardians of the largest colony of these fruit bats in the world. There are an estimated 1.8 million Jeffroy's Rosette fruit bats in the Montfort Bat Cave. Bats wallpaper 3/4 of the walls and ceiling of the 75-meter-long limestone cave. That's 645 bats every square meter. These small fruit bats average just 7 centimeters from head to toe. They feed on nectar and fruit, making them important pollinators and seed dispersers. The bats pollinate durian trees in and around Davao City, and thanks in part to them, the production of durian, a popular fruit, is soaring. As dusk approaches, more and more bats begin to wake up and get ready for takeoff. Soon, only baby bats will be left hanging around. The adults will make the short flight across the sea to the fruit trees on the mainland. In a single evening, the colony can consume 550 tons of nectar, pollinating an incredible number of flowers in the process. Davao City, where the fruit bats feed, is the headquarters of the Philippine Eagle Foundation. Filipinos flock here to see their national bird, the Philippine eagle. There are 33 of them here. With less than 750 estimated left in the wild, the center is a sort of Noah's Ark for these magnificent birds. One of the world's largest eagles, they stand 1 meter tall. Their wings are 2 meters across. These remarkable raptors breed well here, but eggs are monitored closely and chicks are hand-reared to ensure their survival. To do that properly, the staff has to put on a unique puppet show. The eagle puppet ensures the chick doesn't lose its identity and think it's a human. This chick will be as big as its parents when it's just 5 months old. It takes a lot of meat to grow that quickly. In the wild, a young eaglet is flying by 6 months of age, but they stay close to their parents and are not completely independent until they're around 2 years old. Hand-rearing maximizes the survival of offspring and is proving to be very successful. The Philippine Eagle Center has successfully reared 28 chicks. Director of the foundation, Dennis Salvador, checks out a juvenile who was hatched here. Apura, a male, is just over 5 months old. He's a great boost to the captive breeding program. But it's not just the eagles in captivity that the foundation helps. A wild eaglet that became a celebrity was found dehydrated and malnourished in Sarangani province on Mindanao. X-rays revealed a shotgun pellet lodged in its side, so biologists worked to see if the eaglet could be saved. At the Philippine Eagle Foundation, experts spent almost a month nursing the injured eaglet back to health. He was named Sarangani Pride after the province where he was found. Jason Ibanez, Philippine Eagle Foundation Research and Conservation Director, is here for the day of the release. A final checkup, and the eagle is taken to Mount Busa, near Matam Town in Sarangani. There's a big turnout. This celebrity has a nationwide following. Fully recovered from his brush with death, Sarangani Pride does everyone proud with a perfect takeoff. But his story doesn't end here. Sarangani Pride has a radio transmitter attached to his back, so Jason Ibanez and his team can keep track of him. A Philippine serpent eagle circles above. They share the same airspace. 3 months after his release, Sarangani Pride is thriving in his home. The team has witnessed several successful hunts. He's even caught and eaten cobras. Sarangani Pride is more than an eagle. He's an icon, a reminder that Filipinos are proud of their wildlife. Back at the Eagle Foundation in Davao City, more and more visitors are realizing what it will take to save their national bird. Of the 7,000 islands in the country, the Philippine eagle only lives on 4. Across the Philippines, conservation efforts are paying off and ensuring species will be around for years ahead. There are only around 400 tamarao left, the largest native land mammal in the country, but their numbers are on the rise. Many of the remaining Philippine crocodiles are on the island of Luzon. There are only around 250 left. To help them, the vulnerable hatchlings are taken from the wild to be raised in captivity and kept safe from predators.
Let's see how long she is. 69 centimeters. Yeah. That's long enough.
When the croc is around 2 years old, it's released back into the wild. Its chances of survival are a lot higher. Off Palawan, rangers protect one of the world's greatest tropical reef systems. A habitat once pushed to the brink of destruction, these waters are now filled with fish, 200 tons per square kilometer. Conservationists work tirelessly for the reef's survival and recent renaissance. Wildlife is making a comeback. Reef mantas cruise in the blue, and there are vast shoals of big-eye trevally. Hawksbill turtles and whale sharks are given strict protection here. All these are signs of hope that Tuba Taha will thrive into the future. Also on Palawan, men who used to poach parrots for the pet trade now help to protect them. They work for the Katala Foundation, which was set up to conserve the Palawan cockatoo. Chicks are tracked and monitored from birth. Teams from the foundation have cracked down on poaching and protect the trees that these parrots nest and feed in. Now there are about 1,000 Palawan cockatoos. In the last 100 years, hawksbill turtles have declined by 80% worldwide. In the Philippines, nesting females used to be killed for food and souvenirs. The country now gives them sanctuary. It looks like hawksbills have a promising future in the Philippines. These tiny islands scattered across the South Pacific, each are a world unto themselves. On Palawan, evolution has produced a species of horned frog found only on this island. The spectacular and rare Palawan peacock pheasant, and its own unique porcupine. The special conditions on Batanes produce the McGregor's pit viper. While Luzon is home to the whiskered pitta. And the temple pit viper. For this rich, diverse animal population to survive, humans are coming together to protect their land so that the national bird can continue to fly proudly over one of the most stunning landscapes in the world. The country is very proud of its national bird, but Philippine eagles need vast hunting territories to survive. Many Filipinos are working to preserve the raptor's rainforest home. Success will ensure the Philippine eagle and many other unique creatures will inspire future generations.